Hello, guys. Good day. This is Anne of Reinforce Me Club, your fellow positive reinforcer. Today, we are going to talk about anxiety. You know, the way anxiety is something many of us face, often sneaking in during stressful moments or lingering through our daily lives. It can feel overwhelming, but it doesn't have to control us. Over the years, I've discovered practical strategies that help me navigate these challenging feelings. You know, unlike before when I was younger, I tend to overthink. I couldn't sleep well. I couldn't eat well. Sometimes, my judgment has been clouded by anxiety, by overthinking. That I couldn't get the lesson about what happened. That was way back before. You know, the strategies that I'm going to share to you today these aren't a quick fixes. They're tools that empower me to regain calmness, focus, and resilience when anxiety strikes. If you're looking for ways to take charge of your mental well-being, these approaches might gonna resonate with you too. Now today, I am going to talk about the 7 powerful strategies that I use to conquer my anxiety over the years. And you know the way anxiety wouldn't go away. It happens. It's part of life, and it's normal, unless if it steals away your activities, normal activities of daily living, because you constantly overthink. You can't do anything. Your time, your activities has been freeze up by anxiety, and then that's another story. But these powerful strategies that I'm going to share to you are also the things that I'm using for more than 5 years and in the row, and there's still more things that I'm going to learn. And you know the things that I'm doing to fight my anxiety really help me up learn the lessons of what's really going on, what I can get out of what happened, out of those terrible things that happened, or out of those thoughts that still lingers in me, wherein I'm not supposed to think about it. I'm going to share to you my personal experiences today. Anxiety, the way I understand it, is the feeling of fear, dreadfulness, and the feeling of uneasiness, of being out of control. That's how I understand anxiety. Now, by by feeling those, anxious, was having by having those anxious feelings and overthinking, wherein it already compromised my health and my sleep and the past. You know, out of those situations, I can now able to identify or call out myself that I feel anxious. Now, whenever I encounter those, conflicts with my friends or with my partner or colleagues, those unexpected issues which triggered me, what I'm doing this time, this time around, is that I practice the grounding technique. Now, grounding technique is a mental or physical activities that can help you focus on the present moment and away from negative thoughts or feelings. They can help you feel calmer and more in control when you're feeling stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed. Now, one of my grounding technique is deep breathing. So whenever I feel triggered, I deep breathe. I inhale, maybe I count 1, 2, 3, 4. I inhale, and then I hold my breath for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then exhale. I inhale again, and then I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then exhale. And this deep breathing technique brings my brings my mind back to this present moment. You know, rather than, whenever I feel triggered, I got a lot of thoughts firing inside my head. And I feel like sometimes I want to start a fight, sometimes I want to, my mind has a lot of reasons to tell to the other party. But initially, I what I do is I keep quiet as much as possible and deep breathe. I don't show this off to a lot of people, but I just catch myself and deep breathe. The next thing I do is that, I keep quiet no matter what happened. I just keep quiet. I tap my anterior shoulder like this, anterior left shoulder. Or I rub my elbows for a minute and tell myself, it's okay, we can get through this. It's okay. I do this. It's okay. So, these are body language. I can even see this to other people. I can even observe this to other people. No. We have ways to cope. So that is my grounding practices. And then the next thing I do is that I create a safe environment for me. I get myself some space. That's the second one. So whenever I finally get a chance to get myself some space, it could be around the corner, it could be outside the institution or outside the room, away from the trigger. That's already considerably a safe space. So in that safe space, I listen to the music. So listening to music is one of the grounding technique. So I just mix it up. I listen to the music, or what I'm doing when I finally get my space, I go for a walk outside, or run, sprint. When I really feel bad, I sprint and then do some. Finally get some brisk walk because I'm not really into running. So if I feel down, the more I must release those extra energy. Sometimes I just clean up the entire house. It's my way to get myself wasted. To pour those extra negative energy. In a way that it could be useful for me whenever I feel anxious. So yeah, brisk walking or run outside, clean up the entire house, or clean up the kitchen, or even dance around the house. While listening to the music. So that's what I do to my safe space. Now another thing which can be helpful to you is, I write down. Number 3 is I write down my problems in my daily diary. So the last time I wrote something in my daily diary, I'm actually on holidays for 3 weeks, was a week ago. I wrote down in my daily diary that I'm going to be on holidays, so I didn't write anything at the moment. But I might just going to go back to my daily diary for some updates. But, whenever I feel anxious, yes, indeed, I overthink. So that is why it's important for me to write down my problems, my thoughts, and even my solutions. So I write down my problems and the worst case scenario. And then after I write down the worst case scenario, I make some solutions. I write down my solutions. So whenever I do that, I can finally write down all the problems and solutions that's in my head. I finally could say to myself that this time I could get some sleep, because I already have a planned solution, which is in my diary, to be implemented in the following day. So as I've mentioned earlier, when anxiousness means feeling out of control. Now, when you write down your problems as well as your solutions, you can tell to yourself, like, I could have a chance to be in control tomorrow, because I'm already in control of myself today. So I already have a solution, so I'm in control of my solutions, and the rest is that's out of my control. As I've already have made my own solution, so I'm into this, and this is my own business, and I'm my own business. So that's the power of writing down your problems. You get to have a chance to be in control of the situation by being in control of your solutions as well as yourself. Now, the reason why I write down a problem is that it helps me ease my overthinking. And when I already come up with solutions, I can finally argue with myself. So this is number 4. Whenever I write down my problems, and as well as my solutions, I can already challenge my negative thoughts. Now, anxiety often involves distorted thinking like catastrophizing or overgeneralizing. But whenever I write down my solutions in every worst case scenario, I can finally tell myself that I am in control of my solution as well as my actions tomorrow. And then whenever I do that, arguing with myself, and of course I'm going to win because I already write down my solution, I can finally get some sleep. Finally get some sleep because I do value sleep though. Sleep is vital for me. Maybe 6 to 7 hours a day. It's already a heaven. So I do write down my problems because I value my sleep. I want to recharge effectively. So number 4 is I challenge my negative thoughts. I argue with myself because I've already write down my solutions. Number 5 is engage in physical activities. And I've mentioned before in my early episodes, though, physical movement reduces stress hormones and promotes endorphins. Now, these endorphins are happy hormones. So whenever you work out, although you are in pain because of stress, in pain because of what's happened, of terrible things that happen in life, when you work out, it actually, that exercise actually helps you ease the pain. Well, not necessarily that you have to go to the gym, but as to me, I have my home gym in the living room, or I even go outside for a walk to change my environment. Or you can even you can dance to your favorite music. Even 10 minutes of light stretching or cardio, can shift your focus and alleviate your tension, muscle tension, and tension inside your head because you're stressed out. Now, number 6 is, this is also important, for for me to catch up to cope up with anxiety or anxiousness. So the next thing I do, which is number 6, is I connect with my support system. I connect with people whom I can trust, those people who want the best for me. What I'm trying to say is the people I surround myself with, these are the people who can dare to tell me even hurtful things to wake me up of the reality. They're, my friends are ready to tell me the truth, although sometimes it does hurt. Isolation can intensify anxiety, so it's way better to reach out with your trusted friends, family members, or even your therapist. So I share my feelings openly, and talking reduces my emotional burden. And if you don't have trusted friends, family members, you might want to consider uh, getting a therapist or a professional help if anxiety feels already overwhelming or persistent to you. Now, lastly, what I can do to myself to really think well, think clearly, come up with better solutions over time, learning, from my triggers, learning from those issues that pops up, conflicts that pops up, for me to be able to get the message of those situations is that I just I give myself time to focus on healthy habits like adequate sleep. That's why I want to I want to conquer my anxiety so I can get a good sleep. So that's the reason. Basically, I know it's no big deal for some people, but for me, sleep is important. 6 to 8 hours, 6 to 7 hours, it's already heaven for me, and that sleep is important. I eat healthy, high protein diet, fruits and vegetables, meat. I hydrate. Adequate sleep, proper nutrition, and hydration play a significant roles in emotional stability. So I give myself time to practice them as much as possible. I avoid caffeine. Although, I love tea, cup of tea, but I don't drink coffee. I don't drink alcohol. So that I can be in control. in those anxious moments. Initially, I could be out of control. That's why I'm doing this techniques, these strategies for me to really, you know, go back to myself, go back to my present moment, for me to be able to come up with the with the good solutions, so that I can also grasp the message of those negative situations. And managing anxiety is an ongoing process. And anxiety actually, it's part of life. And it's also an opportunity for us to grow, to improve. That's why we have to get the gist of those triggers. We have to learn from our triggers. We got to get the lessons of those terrible situations that we're going to encounter, and we've been encountered, and should I say, we have encountered. So it's important to remember that progress takes time. The strategies I've shared have been invaluable in helping me find a calmness and regain control when anxiety arises. Whether it's grounding technique or even reframing my thoughts by means of arguing to myself or seeking support, there's no one size fits all solution. What matters is finding what works for you. So be patient with yourself and celebrate small victories along the way. With the right tools and mindset, by being pro growth, quote unquote, by learning, relearning, or unlearning some stuff that you have that you've been applying in your life, you can face anxiety with confidence and resilience. Remember, you're never alone in this journey, and brighter, calmer days are always within your reach. So, you're not alone. Me too. I do feel anxious at times. And because of these feelings, these thoughts, I've also learned. And since I've already done my share for myself, hopefully this episode does help you a lot. So if you ever love the content today, you can share this to your family and friends. You can follow me in YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, even on Amazon Music. Reinforce Me Club. By the way, it's Anne, your fellow positive reinforcer. I do appreciate your time and have a lovely day ahead. Thanks once again.